get started on trophies. You need this? So, as always, before we get started, first of all, thank you guys for being here. More importantly, you had a bunch of poor bastards standing out in the sun and the rain all weekend long, flagging for you, running your safety trucks. Let them know you appreciate that. I talked with Road America today. They would like us to come on a weekend date next year. Probably there's going to be 14 feet of snow on the ground.
Let's have the snowplow! 24-hour race!
I gotta say, I think you guys, we had a lot of trepidation coming to this track. It's really fast, as you know. There's not a lot of places to make bad mistakes. And it took us 6 years to get to the place where we trusted you guys enough to give this a try. And I think you did a great job. I think you did a thank you for being up to the task. And we'll keep coming back here as a result. Let's get down to the awards. As you know, the overall winner is the trophy we consider least important and least impressive. And in this case, the same car also was the Class A winner, which is another thing we go, eh. They had a lot of stiff competition from some very fast cars which faded at the end and maybe had a little bad luck, but it was a good race right up to the end. These guys have built this car that took them a bunch of races to get it sorted out, to get it to keep running. It's a junky-ass X19 with a hoopty-ass junkyard alpha motor in the back. I think they did a great job to win this race, pretty much pole to pole. Your overall victors, Team Splatos.
I look forward to those every race.
Now, the bad news. Sing it. The bad news for these guys is that the overall trophy gets you absolutely $0, but the Class A trophy gets $500. So there you go. Class B, the middle level class, the class where you have some prayer of finishing, is, I don't have my notes, but I'm pretty sure I remember, it's the Blue Shells Honda Accord. All right, excellent, well done.
Hey, thanks for everybody in the blue or the B class. You guys were great. It was a great race. I'm glad.
And the Class C, the class that we all find the most interesting. You guys also get $500, by the way. Stick around after the awards. The Class B or Class C winner.
Is it in Nichols?
It's not in Nichols today. I'm sorry. But if you want, I can send it to you in Nichols. Class C, the ugly class. These guys came. They themed their car just like the car that 10 years ago I drove in the double 500. I thought that was very charming of them. Racing for Nichols, the horrible Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra. Next up, the heroic fix. This is the entrant, the team that just has to go through hell and high water to get their vehicle to the track and get it all the way you know, to the end of the weekend, and really there was only one contender here in my mind. Now this involved rainstorms, plagues, floods, crap blowing up, being stuck in ridiculous little towns, lost in the middle of the night. It took 4 days to get to the track with everything that went wrong. And then once you know, now you're at the track, now you got to rebuild every single aspect. The wiring is fucked up, the engine is fucked up. Oh, it just went on and on and on and on. Persevered, got through to the end, made it all work. The heroic fix goes to Judge Sam and his horrible Sam unfortunately actually now has to make the ride back to Savage on the same motorcycle, so we'll be hearing from him in about 10 days. I got screwed. This trophy goes to the team that got screwed. Now this was a team, they've always had a certain number of problems with their car, so they brought a spare motor, knowing the worst that could happen. And but this time the motor was running great. Another team with the same kind of car blew up its engine, said, hey, can we have your spare motor? We really want to get back on the track. And they said, sure, take it. Knock yourself out. We don't need it. The guys went away. 2 laps later, boom. So normally I'd say they got screwed. You could argue that they screwed themselves by doing a junkyard turbo with a bunch of Home Depot plumbing pipe in it. But this is Team Euro trash. The
Thank you. We're sorry.
The motor ran
By
great.
the way,
Oh, thanks.
By the way, I want to give an honorable mention. We don't have a trophy for it, and I feel bad about that. But if we had a trophy, the award for the guy who has been feeding everybody in the pits all weekend long goes to Soggy. Thank you. Oh, the quiche was so good. The quiche was so good. The theoretically fast trophy goes to the car that by reputation, mark, and design ought to be dominating and is in fact just incredibly but terrible. And this was no contest at all. The car that should be a supercar and is in fact slower than Soggy's Simca 1204 is the White Lotus Elite.
Didn't they blow up?
Theoretically.
Your judges have their own award that they give out at their discretion. Everybody, Judge Phil, Judge Sam, give them a hand.
So the judge's choice could go to a team for any number of reasons. Redemption story, for example. Sometimes it's just doing what I asked you to do. Before this race, there was a certain team that had a certain kind of cheaty car that tends to show up as a large blip on our radar screen. They said, Judge Phil, how can we keep from getting penalty laps? And I said, well, how about if you theme your car as a giant homage to Albanian dictator Enver Hoxha? They did just that. They don't know who he is. They don't care. But the thing is, there's an even better way to get the judge's choice. And that's if, on top of doing something that I wanted, that is choosing a horrible car that we've never seen before for your very first race and bringing it, in this case, a Nissan Pulsar. But when I meet you at the bar downtown and you're giving up because you threw a rod, and I say, oh, don't give up, fix it. Take the offending rod and piston out and put a belt around the crank turtle, it'll be fine. They're like, oh, okay. And they tried to do it, and it didn't work. But I figured you drag your car all the way from Canada, you make it a Pulsar, even though you could have gone the easy route. I figured judge's choice to you. Come on up, red shirt racing. Yeah.
However, I would add
next year, eh?
the Enver Hoja team. Who are you guys raising money for again? Wildwood Hills Ranch. Wildwood Hills Ranch. Every time the Enver Hojas come, they raise money for Wildwood Hills Ranch, which takes disadvantaged kids and gives them a great summer experience. So we are going to donate an entry to Wildwood Hills Ranch for you guys showing up for Enver Hoja. For whatever you can get, it's going to be like 20 bucks, but you can sell that for whatever you can get. You pass it on to the kid.
It was an agonizing choice.
So the organizer's choice, this is the team that just impresses me the most or amuses me the most. These guys did both. They took a terrible concept, executed it very poorly, and went out, and the proof was on the track because that just didn't work at all. However, it was just so awesome to see what they did, and they're going to come back. They're going to try to work out some of the minor bugs that had them doing things like flying off the track backward at 90 miles an hour. And they're going to try it again. So, of course, the mid-engined North Star powered Before we announce the top award, the IOE, we have a word from the Road America safety crew for all of you guys. Take it away.
Thank you for coming. It was entertaining. It was fun. I'm glad you're back. But got a paddock space over here pretty much covered in oil, standing oil. You guys want to stay on our good side, we want to stay on your good side. Please don't leave that kind of mess behind anywhere you go. Okay, we're covering it, we're cleaning it up, it's no big deal. So everybody stays friendly. Let's clean up those kinds of messes in your paddock spaces. We have oil dry out on the pit lane. We've got a car leaking gas back here. We're addressing that. So 7 Pink. From the south. I think we figured that out this morning.
Toxic
And that's all. Just a reminder, clean up after yourselves. Thank you.
On that same subject, don't forget transponders. If you got one, bring it on back. We will do all kinds of damage to the credit card you left us otherwise. The index of effluency is the top award. This is the car that does the best with the worst possible machine. These guys, they've run a whole bunch of races, and they've never done too well. However, this time, they went out there, they scored a super solid, I think they were in the top third pretty much all weekend in a slow, miserable car that I'm pretty sure was running on 75% of its cylinders all weekend long. They didn't complain, they didn't have a problem, they just went around and around and around. I think one penalty all weekend long for these guys. So the best finish from the worst car, the top award, comes with $501 plus a free entry in the race of their choice. This is, of course, the Prince of Darkness, Thank you for being here. police your space, get home safely, and we will see you in the dead of winter at Road America. Thanks.